So today I was 45 kilos off. The deadlift felt horrible, man. Felt horrible. Before I left today, I was talking to my missus and I'm like, man, I don't know if I should go and do my back workout today. I'm kind of not feeling right. Haven't eaten much. The appetite hasn't been there the last 24 hours. I've hardly eaten at all, really. And when I do eat, it's kind of like, that force feeding crap where it's like your body's rejecting food. Looking at my schedule of work, it's going to be tough next few days. So I thought, you know what, let's just go today and see what happens. 240 today felt heavy. Felt it in my lower back, which is a great sign that I've got no leg drive. Great sign that I've got no core. Great sign that the upper back is fried. Just a great sign that today wasn't going to be the day. Having said all of that, like all these earlier sets felt okay, felt pretty good. 180, double overhand grip, felt strong. The grip felt strong. But as soon as I went to 220, I felt it. I'm like, ooh, that felt a bit heavier. Maybe I misgrooved it. Tried 240, yep, nah. Not going to happen today. So it's amazing, right? 45 kilos away from my max that I did 7 days ago. But that's the nature of the body. Like, these arbitrary days that we set forth. Oh yeah, every 7 days I'm gonna come back, I'll feel strong. Nah, dude, like every week is different. It's never the same. The schedule, the festive seasons. Yesterday we had a Slava. My in-laws had a Slava. If you guys are from the Yugoslavian part of the world, you all know what a Slava is, especially if you're Serbian, obviously. So a few drinks here and there. Still, no food, like surrounded by food. Yesterday I was making comments. I'm like, man, the table's full of food, but I can't eat. Like, I'm just pecking at it. This morning I felt, oh, cool, no worries. Let me wake up and, eat a big breakfast and go to the gym. And well, what do you know? I wake up and I'm like, zero appetite. All right, so I just took a handful of peanuts, took a biscuit, got in the car and I left to go to the gym. Got to the gym at 9 a.m. I have to do it earlier because, I've got work later on in the day. So all these things kind of piling up. And then, eventually I was like driving to the gym. I'm like, who cares, man? Let me just go in there and just do some barbell rows. I know I need to do my barbell rows. I could have postponed it a couple more days, but yeah, sure, I can't move top-notch weight in a deadlift. I don't feel that way, but I can surely row. Even the rows felt crappy, but I wanted to row. Rowing is the fertilizer to all of this. I grow because of the rows. Actually, that rhymes. Grow, row. So, as soon as I hit 240, I was like, oh, well, too bad. No worries. Let's start the proper session, which is the rows. And I started doing them. And even in them, I was kind of like, oh, there's no spark in here either. Just overall. But you can still row. You can row. You can body English it a little bit to help you along the way and get those reps in. But it's funny. It's funny how, during that month of deadlift PRing, I was going good. And then, I skipped a week, I reckon. And then I came back and I hit 280, I think. And then 285 7 days later. So it's kind of like, sometimes I have a really good week. I eat really well, or the work is easy, in the hospital or whatever. Or sometimes there's so many moving targets that it's really hard. That's why I'm always going to say to you guys, I don't like the idea of programming. I don't like the idea of predicting what I'm going to feel like in 8 weeks. I absolutely don't know what I'm going to feel like in 8 weeks. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, what shifts I'm going to have. I don't know what cases I'm going to have at work. And all of that impacts me. And so I always have to have the freedom of, the liberty of changing things on the fly. Just like that, I also would like to, absolutely send it to drop the clutch from 10,000 RPM when I feel good. Not when somebody else tells me to drop the clutch. Now, I don't like operating that way. Maybe because my life is the way it is and it's, I don't have a lot of regularity. I don't have a lot of consistency in terms of like what I do day to day. It's just, I've got like 3 different schedules that I run. I've got an early shift, a late shift, actually 4, a night shift, and then there's also a day off. So, I run my life in 4 different ways depending on what the roster says. And obviously on top of all of that, what's happening at the school with the kids, what's happening with the wife, what's happening. And so a lot of variation. And for me to grab this thing and place it nicely, gently over the top, like I'm putting the head on the bottom end of a car, perfectly all the bolts aligned, dude. That's not, you can't engineer that your life that way. So a day like this, I'm like, yeah, cool, no worries. I would have loved to feel better, but I don't. Cool, no worries. Continue on, and maybe next week I'll feel good. If I don't, then I might, like, if I string a couple of these weeks together, then I might sit back and be like, okay, so what's changed? What have I changed in the last few weeks that's maybe stopped? And I might still look at the whole thing and be like, shit, nothing's changed from my end, but maybe the biology of me is now hit the limit of this particular level, you know. So now I need to wait another, God knows how long, before I get to 290 and continue progression. You know, it would be foolish to us to think that I'm going to just go, 5 kilo increments every couple of weeks on a deadlift. Eventually, this thing is going to stop. Eventually, I'm going to try my true maximum. And then obviously there's going to be another plateau. There's going to be another period where I need to kind of stack my chips, build everything necessary like I have in the last 2.5 years for it to be another leap. But this idea of that I'm getting stronger every week, that's probably not true. Probably the strength has been there dormant, and I'm just peaking right now. I'm expressing it really well. I've found something that has been a rate limiting step in my body, maybe the upper back, maybe the quads, I don't know. And that's kind of been addressed, and there's a bit more innovation now. There's a bit more activation of that muscle. All of a sudden now the whole system looks like I'm flying. It's kind of like, analogy from the NBA or from the football world. Like, it's like you're one piece away from a championship, but right now you're like the sixth in the West, one piece away from winning the whole thing. It's like, damn, you've jumped all that way. You've started killing everyone. Just one piece away. Not even a superstar. You just need somebody to set the table. You need a point guard that can protect the ball and get you into your sets. And once you get that, boom, your superstars are just, it's like that synergy. You are greater than the sum of your parts. It's kind of like that. That's kind of how I think about it. It's like you've just addressed something that allows your big guys to actually do their work. But this idea that I've gotten stronger 20 kilos over the last month, that's not the case, man. Like, that's impossible. But yeah, anyway. Let me try and get a better week under my belt for the next 7 days and see what I can do next week. Appreciate you guys, like always, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.